Writing Your Way Through Time, How 3 Simple Prompts Reveal Who You Were, Are, and Are Becoming. Writing is good for so many things, but one of the things it's best for is reflecting on our lives. In one of my recent Wednesday morning writing classes, I had my students respond to a series of 3 prompts to help them explore the different selves they've been over the course of their lives. We wrote about our past, present, and future. And because we used writing practice, writing quickly without pre-planning, stopping, or editing, this became an exercise in discovery rather than reporting on a foregone conclusion. Our focus was flow and depth rather than craft. It's amazing what comes out when we tap into our deep unconscious. There's a river of creative juice that's always there for us to access if we create the right conditions and dip in. I've given my writing students this series of prompts for more than 20 years, and each time I write them myself, my responses are completely different. So we wrote to each of these for 20 minutes. The blank I used to be, and you fill in your name, like the Laura I used to be, or the Tammy I used to be, or the George I used to be. And then the second prompt was the blank I am today. And again, there's the blank, you fill in your name. So it would be the Laura I am today, the Rashida I am today, the Gwen I am today, the Lizzie I am today. And then the third prompt was the blank I am becoming, the Laura I am becoming, the Karen I am becoming, the Leon I am becoming, the Betty I am becoming. Personally, I struggle the most with the third prompt, the becoming one, because I have a lot of trouble thinking about my future. The older people I've been intimately involved with have had old ages that frighten me. I especially feel that way about the end of my mother's life. As a result, I've been challenged to imagine a positive old age for myself. So when I got to the third prompt, I wrote a few sentences and then drew a blank. But through the magic of writing practice, keeping my pen moving on the page with no editing, I found a creative way to respond. And here are the 3 journeys I went on with these prompts. So this first one, and if you go to the post on Substack, you'll see a lot of images of me from the past, the Laura I used to be. The Laura I used to be was born into grief and trauma. She felt like a little leaf fluttering in the wind, a tiny piece of dust floating untethered. The Laura I used to be was frightened on the inside and brave on the outside. She liked structure. She liked rules. She liked being a good girl the way she was supposed to be, until she got older and had to rebel. The Laura I used to be had a big spirit. She needed to express herself, to channel what was inside her to the outside. She needed and loved to influence people with her words. When she was 15 years old, she wrote and created a service for her temple full of folk songs and anti-Vietnam War messages, and her service moved the whole congregation. That was just a hint of things to come. The Laura I used to be was lonely and shy. She didn't know how to feel a part of the world. The Laura I used to be stood up to her family and told the truth about her grandfather. She risked everything and lost everything when she wrote and published The Courage to Heal. As she used to say, I gained the world and lost my family. The Laura I used to be fled from New Jersey and moved to California, as far as she could get from her mother without crossing an ocean. The Laura I used to be had a huge, creative, generative fire inside her, and that creative fire flowed out from her core, through her pen and voice, and poured out into the world. The Laura I used to be wrote books and created communities. She brought people together in groups and changed their lives. For many years, there was a big chasm between her public self and her private self. On the inside, she still felt broken, shattered, uncertain, alone, always that little piece of dust floating around the universe. On the outside, she was a leader, a nurturer, a teacher, a generator, an outspoken voice, an activist, so many things. Over the years, her inside self gained healing. Little by little, with each person who saw her, each friend who loved and held her, the Laura I used to be learned that she was lovable. She allowed her heart to soften. She realized maybe there was a reason to live, that maybe she didn't have to stay a piece of dust floating all alone. She built family. She built connections. The Laura I used to be, she was driven in all things. It's not that she didn't relax. She did. It's just that when she set her heart or mind or sights on something, she felt compelled to pursue it thoroughly right then and there at that very moment. The Laura I used to be did more, accomplished more, and produced more than most people do in a lifetime. Yet she always did it her own way. She couldn't stand the idea of working in a corporation or organization or by anyone else's rules. So she became a solopreneur, doing things her way. She was a maverick, but that could be lonely, and when she had a co-author or a co-leader, she loved it. But often it was just her, creating it all, doing it all, envisioning and manifesting and implementing it all. The Laura I used to be reconciled with her mother after years of bitter estrangement. She created a family of friends. She met her wife, and together they raised 3 children. The Laura I used to be pushed 2 of their babies out of her body and dedicated herself to their well-being and care. She avoided some of the biggest mistakes her parents had made with her, but of course, she made others. We all have our blind spots. The Laura I used to be loved new experiences. She loved the edge, but she also loved safety. There was always that polarity in her life, risk and safety. The Laura I used to be was brought to the brink by cancer, and ever since understood that everything in life is temporary. The Laura I used to be was a worrier. She worried about becoming a bag lady. She worried about every event she created. Would people come? She worried about all kinds of things. So even though she was a risk taker, she suffered in the middle of the night with anxiety. Worry lived in her bones. The Laura I used to be found solace in many things: nature, hiking, friends, cooking, writing, travel, games, living in loving community. The Laura I used to be couldn't imagine getting old. All she could imagine was her mother, demented and sitting on a chamber pot, screaming in the end. So that was the first prompt. This is the middle prompt, the Laura I am today. And if you go to the Substack post, you'll see a lot of pictures of me as I am today in a little grid. But here's what I wrote. The Laura I am today is sitting at a computer in her office with a cup of peppermint tea by her side, looking at a screen with 20 of her students in little squares, writing to the prompt she just gave them. The Laura I am today is aware of every movement of her bowels. She is recovering from her first attack of diverticulitis, and her body is ricocheting between diarrhea and constipation. She is realizing that if your digestion is broken, it is hard to think about anything else. The Laura I am today is so bored with what she is able to eat: white rice, plain chicken, white toast, poached egg, banana, soft tofu, overcooked carrots, bone broth. The Laura I am today watched her wife and daughter drinking beer the other day, eating steak tacos, enjoying vegetables and a giant bowl of salad, eating whatever they wanted without a thought as to how it would affect them. The Laura I am today is jealous of their ease with food. She looks on longingly as they eat. The Laura I am today is filling out a 2-page chart every day: how she slept, what supplements she took, what she ate at each meal, tracking every bowel movement and bit of gas, every moment of gripping in her gut, how many glasses of water she drank, how much she swam or walked, How she felt, you name it. If it has to do with a body function, it's on that chart. The Laura I am today is trying to be in the present, taking this new reality one day at a time, but she realizes how much food lives at the center of her life, shopping for it, finding recipes, cooking it, sharing it, savoring it. She hopes she will not be sentenced to a bland, boring diet for the rest of her life. Her friend says, don't think of it as food, think of it as medicine. So that's what she's trying to do. Her body right now is a laboratory, and she is an experiment. The Laura I am today is still coasting on the beauty of Bali. She spent a month there this summer, and those green rice fields are still lulling her. She could hear the ting of the gamelan, the sound of water running everywhere, standing under the waterfall, hiking in the rainforest, riding on the back of a scooter in the early morning hours, the magic of shadow puppets and sacred masks. The Laura I am today is working less. She loves to teach but hates to promote. She needs more space between things. She is not popping with new ideas one after the other. She loves walking in the woods as she always has, and she has just returned to the swimming pool. She loves the ease her body feels gliding through water. The Laura I am today is between worlds, between the world of working and doing, creating and pushing things into the world, and the world of resting and reading and being. The Laura I am today can't imagine getting old, though she has a new friend who is 82 and full of joy, and Laura wonders but doubts if she could end up like her. The Laura I am today is the mother of adult children and 3 grandchildren. She loves when they are close by and misses them when they are far away. The Laura I am today loves mahjong and motion theater. She is learning what to do with herself when her calendar isn't full. The Laura I am today is deeply worried about our country and the world. She is horrified by the genocide in Gaza and wears a black and white band around her wrist for the Palestinians. Her daughter bought it for her on Etsy and tied it on her wrist, and the Laura I am today is proud to wear it in solidarity. The Laura I am today wonders if she is witnessing the demise of democracy, the demise of the human race, or if she is witnessing the start of a renaissance. The Laura I am today is pessimistic about the state of the world and the country. She is better at coping with this full catastrophe at some times than others. Right now is one of the better times. The Laura I am today wonders what else she should be doing to make a difference. But the Laura I am today is winding down in many ways, and her body is forcing a new focus. The Laura I am today would like to be able to imagine a rich, vibrant, connected old age for herself, but right now she still can't do it. So she lives one day at a time, always reaching for balance. The Laura I am today likes doing less. She really, really likes it. And this is the final prompt of the 3. The Laura I am becoming. The Laura I am becoming. This is a tough prompt for me to write because I can't envision the end of my life, my 3rd act, though I am already in that. So I will start with the near future. The Laura I am becoming moves slower. The Laura I am becoming needs more space between things. The Laura I am becoming puts her body and its needs higher on the top of the list. The Laura I am becoming is letting go of the grip of doing and is learning how to enter a day without having plans. The Laura I am becoming laughs more, especially at herself. The Laura I am becoming will have to deal with limitations she hasn't had to deal with before. The Laura I am becoming, I don't know who she is. I find it hard to imagine her. I don't know what to say about her. Maybe I need to hand the pen over to her. And so this now is the older me writing back to me today. Hey, Laura, my God, if there's one thing I want to say to you more than anything is you worry too much. I'm here to tell you that everything is going to be okay. Okay, well, not everything. We both know the world is teetering on the brink, but that's not what I'm talking about here. What I want to say to you is that you've already lived through so much worse than what you're going to face in the future, and you had so many fewer resources than you do now. Yes, dear one, There is life after the whirlwind of doing and creating and generating that your adult life has been centered on. Thank God. You're on that path right now. You're taking care of your body. Yes, that becomes more important as you get older. Good for you for being proactive. And yes, there will be lots of things to grieve, but also lots to celebrate. Regardless of what happens in the world, you will still know joy. You will still savor beauty. You will still feel awe. The natural world will never stop moving you, and you will know loss. Good, because you have to prepare for the end of your life when you will lose everything. The work before you, dear one, is the same task that's been before you your whole life long. Healing your broken, shattered heart, learning to love and to let love in with more capacity. Really, that's the whole shebang, darling. I know it's hard to trust what you don't know, but you're already on the path. You're already loosening your grip on the productive part of your life. It's not that you can't create or teach or do anymore. It's just time to shift your focus. You always ask your writing students to think about what's in the foreground in the stories they write and what's in the background. Well, it's time, dear one, beloved younger one, for your work to be in the background and for everything else to be in the foreground. It's excited me to no end to watch you resting lately. I know your body has knocked you down. You do seem to need to get whacked to pay attention, to really pay attention. But the result has been good, even if the food is unpalatable. At least you have food. And the end result is that you've had to rest. Your lists have gotten shorter. Do you remember that time your cousin Miriam was completely stressed out getting ready for one of her famous Homeland parties up on top of the mountain in Boulder Creek? 50 or 100 people were going to hike up the mountain for the day or the weekend, and she was all flustered, carrying around her must-do list. And you said to her, "Give me that." And then you opened the wood-burning stove, the one with cast iron burners on top, that amazing stove you love to feed with wood and cook on, and you threw her to-do list on the fire. Do you remember how she laughed, how free she felt? Well, darling, that can be you. Burn the list. Burn the list. Keep stretching out into open space. It's time for you to trust the universe. I'm telling you, it's safe. Not in every way, of course, but in this way, in the way of the evolution of soul. Don't worry, I've got you. Now, it's time for you to give it a try. Write to each of these prompts for 20 minutes. The blank I used to be, filling in your own name. The blank I am today, and the blank I am becoming. The instructions are, use the stem, the blank I used to be, as a repeating line and write in the third person. Set a timer for 20 minutes and write without stopping for each of the 3 prompts. It's okay to stretch in between, but it's best if you write to all 3 prompts, one after the other, in one sitting. Let me know where you go with these prompts and what you discover. Now, would you like to come study with me? I teach ongoing weekly classes on Zoom. This means you could attend from anywhere. Admission is on a rolling basis, and there are openings available now. I teach 2 different kinds of classes. The first, which meets on Wednesdays, is a writing practice class. In the writing practice class, we write in class to prompts each week and share our work in an intimate circle. The prompt you just read is an example of the kinds of exercises we do. The Wednesday class is not a feedback or critique-based class. Rather, it's a safe place for self-exploration, expanding creativity, developing a writing practice, and figuring out what it is you want or need to write. It's a great class if you want to explore your writing voice, discover new stories, excavate new memories, or simply have a place where you know you'll write every week in beloved community. The camaraderie and intimacy of the class is palpable. It provides my students with a cherished oasis in the middle of their week. There are no prerequisites to attend. Everyone is welcome. There are current openings, and there's a new student special available now. You could learn more about joining the Wednesday class in the show notes. The second type of class I teach are feedback classes, designed for people already engaged in a narrative writing project, a memoir, a novel, a set of essays, a book of family history, a nonfiction project. You can be working on standalone pieces or a book-length manuscript, or trying to figure out exactly where your work is going. In these classes, people bring in work they've written at home to be critiqued by me and a supportive group of peers. I teach the skills of giving feedback, and people become deeply invested in each other's work. The class becomes a richly productive, creative, supportive community. I teach 2 ongoing feedback classes each week. Students enroll for a series and then can renew. One feedback class meets Thursday morning Pacific time, and the other meets Thursday evening Pacific time. My feedback classes are not for beginning writers. A writing sample is required, so I could make sure people would be served by the class. I currently have 2 openings in my evening class, and you could get on a wait list for the morning session. Please reach out to me if you're interested. You could learn more about applying for my feedback classes in the show notes. And if international travel calls to you, I am leading a trip to Cuba in April called Write, Travel, Transform, a writer's journey of cultural awakening and creative rebirth. Just 90 miles from Florida lies an island where time moves differently, where stories flow like music through cobblestone streets, and where creativity isn't just encouraged, it's considered the essential lifeblood of the country. Cuba, a place where poets are celebrated as national treasures, where neighborhood rumbas become sacred ceremonies, and where the written word carries the power to transform lives. Since the Cuban Revolution in 1959, there has been a sustained movement to elevate the arts as essential to human dignity. This isn't just tourism, it's cultural immersion. You'll witness a society where former upscale homes have become cultural centers, featuring literary workshops, artist residences, and music performances, where passing peanut vendors sing their wares and impromptu dancing erupts on street corners. This is your invitation to join the Write, Travel, Transform Cuba trip, a 14-day writer's journey that combines daily writing practice with profound cultural exploration. From April 13th to 26th, you'll experience Cuba through the eyes of its people, the storytellers, musicians, and artists who have turned decades of isolation into an artistic renaissance. In Caribbean culture, storytellers have always been revered as keepers of collective memory. In Cuba, these voices haven't disappeared under economic challenges. They've become more essential than ever. You'll meet local historians, artists, and cultural practitioners who've dedicated their lives to preserving Cuba's treasures. Join me in Cuba for a rich cultural awakening. The link is in the show notes. And remember, every time you click the heart, leave a comment, or share a post, you're making it easier for new readers to discover the writer's journey. And I'll be back here next week.